Hi there, this is also again with a bonus video. I'm I'm making double page spreads like my life depended on it, and this is just another one of those. And it's basically a photo page, so that's why I use it as a bonus on the channel, because it's not much scrapbooking going on, but I think it's worth watching anyway. And I can tell you a bit about the photos. In April last year, I grabbed my zoom lens for my camera, and I went on an hour walk in our town, and I photographed buildings. This was something that I had longed to do for quite some time, because I think we live in such a unique town, and architecture is something that you can walk around in town and don't think a lot about it, and I thought that was really sad, because it's really wonderful. My town is called Sundsvall, and it's on the coast of mid-Sweden, the east coast of mid-Sweden. And it's right about, it's on the middle of the long country I live in. And in 1888, the whole town burnt down in a huge fire. Back then, everything was built in wood, and when they were rebuilding the city after the fire, the insurance companies were dead certain that you couldn't build a town this big in wood anymore, so they had to build the new buildings in stone. So the city center, or the town center of Sundsvall, it's nowadays called Stone Town, and that's because of these wonderful buildings, and those were the ones that I photographed, of course. The stone town then, it's built in a very rich style. The people living here and building here at that time, they were part of the rich people that had connections into the forest industry, and the sawmills, of course, the sawmills. And it's a style that's very like decorated, and the architecture is bold and not luxurious, but at least it shows that money wasn't an issue. and I'm very happy about that. If you build budget style in the city center, it's bound to be boring, and it won't last ages. So I'm very happy that they had money so that they could build in this way. But it's at the same time it's bold, and it's a bit cocky. But it's fun. I love it. I have a whole bunch of photos, and I had even more than these. I know, are they 10 perhaps? I had more, of course, but I needed to make a rough cut so that I could get some kind of style from this on this page. This time I won't be making an insert, because I didn't think that was necessary, and most of my photos were vertical, not landscape size, so I didn't feel like making an insert. So I chose just my favorite shots, and I'm placing them so that they come in the same style. So the upper portion of the double page spread will be the rooftops, and then I'll be showing some of the embellishments and on the lower part, where you can see the statues and the like the decorations on the walls. I wanted to get rid of that white part of the background paper, so I chose green cardstock to place in the gap between the photo rows, and I chose that green because it went really well with the copper roof that you can see in some of the photos, and that's a very nice building color. I think it's soft, and I love green. And then that gap there will be the place where the actual scrapbooking will go on this page. I cut up one of the photos so that it will stretch over the gap in between the pages, and afterwards I thought that I could have used more of the photo on the right page, because I could move the other two photos over a bit and do some cropping there, but when I had gotten this far it was too late to do anything about it. If you remember the pattern paper that I was using when I did the theme park layout, I had a couple of those speech bubbles left, and this time I'm using the right side, the one with a pattern, and I've just cut out many of those, and I'm placing them where I have empty space on my page, and of course in that green gap there. And I won't make any lines around these speech bubbles that I did with the last ones, but I will just treat them like background and embellishing, and I will actually put my titling on top of those speech bubbles in that green gap. So I think that picked up on the vintagey kind of stylish, almost like the French, the feeling of the architecture, and I thought that was really appropriate, and it gave something more to this page. On the left page, where I have the smaller gap, I will be writing remember to in Swedish, kom ihåg, and on the right side I will write to lift your eyesight, or to look up. Yeah, I think you understand that. And that's of course because when you walk through this kind of town and you see the street level shops, and you see all the brands, you see, oh, there's one of those opticians, and there, oh, there's the H&M, and there's the McDonald's. You see everything that's in your eyesight level. But the most important thing when you walk in this town is to lift your sight. You need to look up. But that's not natural. When I got back from this photo shoot and I showed my co-workers these photos, lots of people that had been living in this town for their entire lives said, oh, is this here? Are those photos taken here? And that really surprised me. I have lived here for 10, 15 years, and to me this town is still fresh, and it's still I can admit that I have not seen everything before, and when I was photographing these walls I found lots of new stuff, and it impressed me greatly, and I loved it. But for people that have lived here for their entire life to see new things in my photos, that was really surprising to me, and it was also something that encouraged me to go on more photo shoots in her town, because there is so much to see. and I'm happy about that. So I will make another one of these photo shoots when the light gets a little bit less harsh. At this time it is very, 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 very spring bright, so I need the light to soften a bit more. So about in a month perhaps I will make another one of these. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this bonus video and some facts about my town. Take care, have a really nice time. This is Åsa. Bye!